Why does Sadhguru need a Ducati?
Right.
Is getting a tattoo something which lacks gravitas?
Shall I tell you my experience with tattoos?
I suffer from anxiety. How can I control it?
The problem is just this, for some reason your chemistry is out of control. There are simple ways to bring balance to the system.
Heartbreak is something that almost everybody goes through.
This serial heartbreak business can leave you paranoid. You just don't actually trust anybody in your life.
Kalo na janati tava jananam Kalo na janati tava samapanam Drushto maya tava mahakaraha Yogeshwara Kala Kala Yogeshwara Kala Kala.
Namaskaram and good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon.
I said good afternoon, but nobody is responding.
Come on, guys! Show him what Bennett is. Good afternoon! This is a pertaining question. This is a little personal as well. You're a known petrol head. And
What is that?
a petrol head. You like cars and bikes? So am I. I'm not a known petrol. I'm not known, but I am a petrol head. And speed is
I
expensive.
like anything that works.
And we both know, everyone knows speed is expensive. But spirituality...
No, speed saves time. What are you saying? Speed saves time. Yes?
Yes, it does.
And that's the only commodity that you're always short of, it's running away. Everything else you can accumulate. Time is one thing you cannot accumulate. Saving time is very important and speed does that.
But our world says time is also money, right? Spiritualism says, preaches disconnection from all material, especially money.
Whom did you meet?
The wrong people. So I just wanted to ask you, as a guru, a mystic, and a spiritual guide, why does Sadhguru need a Ducati?
To ride? What do you think I have it for? To ride. Anyway, so because this question is coming because a whole lot of people think spirituality is some kind of a disability. If you say, I'm spiritual, what are the things you cannot do? That's a big question. So one thing, that's the reason why spiritual process has become the entertainment for a fringe group of people. So my work is to make sure, because spiritual process is a tremendous empowerment, I want to see it happens to the entire population, not to some fringe group which sits in the jungle or in the cave. There are not enough caves or jungles for all the population. So, if we have to use this empowerment for everybody, it is very important, it's as normal can be. Yes? So, just to give you, because you're asking this question, some time ago I'm in Chennai and there's some conference that I need to go to, it's in a hotel. And some driver is driving who always drives behind another car. And I have a reputation in this 37 years, I have not been late to a single event. Those many times I have 4 or 5 events in a day, I have not been late to a single event in these 37 years. So this guy is driving behind some car. So I told him to get out and I got into the driver's seat and he did some little forced driving, you know. In India, you need to do little forced driving, otherwise you're not going anywhere. So I go to the hotel and now in all these hotels there is this problem. They stop with a barrier gate and the guy just opens your bonnet and boot, he doesn't even know what he's looking for. If you ask him how many cylinders in the car, he doesn't know because he just opens and closes. So the previous car, the car ahead of me went and the gate was still up, I just went through. So they were all blowing whistles and this and that. I just went and stopped in the portico, got out the car, ran into the hotel on time. So I saw there were a few journalists standing. So when I finished the conference and I came, they said, one of these guys coming and asking me, "You're driving your own car. In ancient times, all the yogis used to walk." I said, "You fool, in ancient times everybody was walking." Not just the yogi, everybody was walking, right? Maybe the yogi walked a little faster than… better than others. Now the yogi rides better than a lot of people. Why is incompetence considered spiritual? If spirituality breeds incompetence, better to ban spirituality.
Thank you for that. Shreya, you've got the next one, I think.
So, Sadhguru, I love tattoos. I have a lot of tattoos. and I'm sure a lot of people in this room do. So when I got my first tattoo, there was a lot of clash of opinion between me and my parents. We fought a lot. He's like, "Why did you get this?" So my question to you is getting a tattoo something which looks unprofessional? Or is it something which lacks gravitas? Or why? Why is this clash of opinion?
Well, the question is, at different times in your life, different things may mean a lot to you. At that moment, if you have yourself marked permanently, and today in United States, tattoo removal is a huge business, it's a bigger business than tattoo. All right? Because, when they were in college, they fell in love, they wrote your name all over the arm, and then it's over, then rubbing it off, you have to peel your skin. So, maybe it's better you wait before you tattoo yourself all over the place to something that matters to you. If you want to write it on your forehead, it better be something that matters to you for the rest of your life. Because after 1 or 2 years, if it falls off, then you'll have to peel your skin. Plus, also, see, everything that you are need not be written on your face. When you want to do work in the world, when you want to do things in the world, it's not necessary everything that you are is all up front. You must have what to expose to whom, isn't it? So if your tattoo is already saying what you are, your philosophy and everything is written, somebody has got Om here, somebody has got Jesus here, somebody has got Shiva here, so we know who you are the moment you enter. If you're wanting to live a very simplistic life, it's okay. If you're looking for a more complex involvement in life, it's better people are not able to mark you in any particular way.
So, since we're talking about tattoos, Sadhguru, my question is that most of us get compliments on
Shall
it.
I tell you my experience with tattoos? No, I don't have any. I'm too dark for the tattoos, what to do? Is there a white color tattoo?
There is a white color.
Okay. I was… we've been working in the prisons, both in India and United States. This movement is called Inner Freedom for the Imprisoned. It's a very touching movement. So when I was in Kentucky Correction Center, it's a high-security prison. There was one guy who's a tattoo maker. He makes tattoos. So I was doing a 10-day program there for this prisoner, so they got really pally with me. Then they revealed, I said, "Where do you get these tattoos?" Within the prison. Everything is searched, okay? Even from your body orifices, everything is searched so that nothing goes in. But somehow this guy tattoos everybody at a tremendous price, okay? And he showed me all his tricks, how he tattoos. He breaks off one little thing off the fork and sharpens it and sharpens it, makes it into a needle. Anything little plastic he gets, bits and pieces of plastic he gathers, melts it out, and different colors. You should see the prisoners, they're tattooed from head to toe. This decides which gang they belong to. It's like a particular type of tattoo means you belong to this group. Wherever they go in this thing, they have a lingo that this is where you belong. And it also tells them what grade of criminal are you. Whether you're really high grade or low grade criminal. Literally entire torso is always tattooed for most of them, and this is the guy who does it. And all these people, they have made this thing that they owe him. When they leave the prison, if they ever go back, they owe him how much it is, thousands of dollars they owe this guy. He's keeping accounts of all that, writing it on his arm. Accounts. So, it was an incredible thing to see. I told him, you show it how you do. Well, the guards were there, he said, I cannot show it, but he explained to me how he does it. It's just ingenious. Within the prison, what he is doing with these tattoos. If you really want to get a good tattoo, Kentucky.
Right. So, sir, since we're talking about tattoos, my question is that most of us get compliments on our outer, how we show ourselves to the people. We get them on a daily basis, especially since we're now living in an age where Instagram and Tinder force us to spend some really quality time and money on ourselves from the outside. But when you ask somebody what is beauty, their answer is always, it comes from within. It is what you are internally. But why? Then their first judgment is always on how they look from outside. My question is, why is external beauty not counted in the definition of ideal beauty?
Well, who said it's not counted? It is counted. Isn't it so? Is it not counted? Is it not accounted for? Ask the boys. They're keeping count of it, don't worry. But each individual may have their own idea of what is beauty. Different communities have their own idea of what is beauty. Different races on the planet have their own idea of beauty. Different cultures have their own idea of beauty. But a joyful face is always a beautiful face, isn't it? Hello? Anybody, whatever the shape of the nose or chin, when they're joyful, it is always a beautiful face. So, if your nose is not the right shape to pass through whatever, I don't know what template they have to pass, if you have a joyful face, you're always a beautiful face, you can maintain that. But what individual people think is beauty is a very prejudiced kind of element. This happened. Can I tell you a joke? It's okay? Madame Massoud thought that she's a connoisseur of art. One day she went to a modern art museum, and from artwork to artwork she went, passing really nasty comments about everything. Then she came to a particular piece and said, "This is horrible. Who is the artist? There is no name either." So the museum curator, he came and said, "Ma'am, that's not an artwork, it's a mirror." So, I'm sure she was appreciating herself when she was conscious, it's her. But when you don't know it's you, suddenly it's ugly. So, what is beautiful, what is ugly, is just the way we look at it. At the same time, there is a geometry to everything. What is geometrically congruent always looks more pleasing to us. Whatever is geometrically congruent, not only human bodies and faces, I'm saying anything that is geometrically in a certain way, which is congruent, and there is certain cohesiveness about it, it will create a certain beauty about it. It may be just two lines, but it looks nice. So that is one thing you can fix by doing a little bit of yoga, you can become geometrically congruent. Even if my nose is not okay, but
So Sadhguru, being very honest, I suffer from anxiety, and I got to know that a lot of people at my age suffer from same. And when I tried to communicate about what I was suffering from, nobody could understand. It was very difficult for me to communicate. So my question is, first of all, why does it happen? And if it does, How do I communicate it in a right way, and how can I control it?
Oh, I've spoken about this and I've been trolled heavily for this one, but I'll try again. Because, I'm always shooting for trouble. See, we need to understand this. Physical health. Mental health is a sensitive thing. Physical health. Unless you have some infection of some kind which comes from outside, which needs to be treated with medicine or treatment, whatever. Rest of the ailments are all coming from within us, isn't it so? Physical health. Yes or no? What is coming from within you, is it your responsibility? I'm just asking. I'm not saying, I'm just asking. Huh? If your body is creating an ailment from within, is it your responsibility? Is it your business to fix it? Is it not true, any number of people who lie down in the bed till noontime like a potato are suffering from many things, and they thought others are idiots who get up 5 o'clock in the morning and running or swimming or playing or doing something. They thought they're really enjoying their life, they ate and they slept. That after some time it tells on the system, and then they think it is somebody's fortune that they have good health and we have ill health. No, it is created from within. If it happens to us, an invasion happens from outside in the form of an infection, that's a different matter. When it comes to mental health, it's far more sensitive to say this, but still, what happens to your body if it's your responsibility? What happens to your mind? Is it not your responsibility? I'm asking you. There may be many factors doing this. Even physical health may be caused due to many factors, ill health may be caused due to many factors. Same may be true with mental health too. But anxiety, misery, variety of things, we want to separate sadness and psychological illnesses because you cannot go to your doctor and fix your sadness because he may also be sad. But if you're medically ill, then we can fix you somewhat with some medication. We know it's a continuous manipulation of chemistry. Yes, that's what medicine means. But is it also true, the greatest chemical factory, the most sophisticated chemical factory is right here? Huh? The question is only, are you a great manager of this factory or a lousy manager, isn't it? If you know how to manage this well, suppose your chemistry was in your hands, would you cause anxiety or ecstasy? What's your choice? Ecstasy, of course, highest level of pleasantness for myself, isn't it? Definitely. So the problem is just this, for some reason your chemistry is out of control. For whatever reason, there may be genetic patterns, there may be pathological reasons, there may be just outside stimulus, many things, but still, is it not your fundamental responsibility to take charge of your physical and mental health, please? Hello? The moment you think it is not yours, tell me it is completely out of your hands. If you see that it is your responsibility, everything may not be fixed, but we can move towards well-being. Tomorrow morning everything may not be fixed, but we can start moving towards well-being. But the moment you think this is happening either because of your genetic factor totally or because of God's will, then no way to fix you. This is very important. Responsibility of who you are, what you are not, must move into you. This is the fundamental mission for me. Religion to responsibility. Religion means responsibility is there. Everything that goes wrong in my life. But the problem is you're on a round planet and the damn thing is spinning, you don't even know what is up. You don't know which is up, isn't it? Hello? Is the planet round? No, because you're a journalist, I'm asking. It is round and it's spinning. So, if you look up, inevitably you're looking up in the wrong direction. Nowhere in the cosmos is it marked this side up. You don't even know which is up. How come something up is responsible for what you are? It's time we take this into ourselves. Then we can do the best we can do. Will everybody be of the same level of physical and mental health on the planet? No, it'll never happen. But the important thing is, are we doing the best we can about ourselves? That's most important. What we can do must happen. What we cannot do will not happen. What to do? If we do not do what we cannot do, there's no problem. But if we do not do what we can do, we are a disaster. That's what a disaster means, that we are not doing what we can do. This is disastrous. What we cannot do, we are not doing. This is not a problem.
I think you're going to be a little less anxious after that.
Anyway, now she's asking this personal question. See, there are simple ways. There are simple ways to bring balance to the system. There is chemistry, there is, various glandular functions happening in the body. Simplest thing, you just learn to sit properly. When I say sit properly, you sit in such a way that the body doesn't need your muscular support. It is so well balanced, if it sits, it simply sits. Just do this for a few hours a day. You will see, you will feel much better. There are other more complex processes that you can do and definitely come out of this problem. But just at least try this much. Geometrically, you keep yourself in such a way, there is no stress in the system, just keep it in a certain way. Now you sit like this, just see how much stress is there in this body all the time. Just initially it looks like there's an effort, but once you sit like this, you see that without effort, body stays there. Without stressing any particular part of the body, it just stays there. Geometry is most important in the sense, with anything physical in the universe, how efficiently something functions. Whether it is what is that word? You're a petrol head, huh? Well, I'm driving a diesel car, don't… So, anything that… let's say engine, if you take it. When we say this is a really good engine, what do we mean? It is geometrically well aligned, there's no friction. If you say this building is well designed, what do you mean? It means geometrically it's well structured, isn't it? Similarly with this body and with the entire cosmos, right now the planets are going around the sun, is it handled with a steel cable or something? It's just the geometry. If it goes off its geometrical alliance, it's finished, isn't it? The solar system? It's only because of perfection of geometry it's working. Similarly with this, getting this body to the right level of geometry, the whole system of yoga on one level is about getting your physical geometry aligned with the cosmic geometry so that being here becomes absolutely effortless. Where there is geometrical perfection, there is no effort, there is no friction in the system. You have to bring this, you must understand whether you can name it by any number of names, stress, anxiety, this, that. Essentially there's friction. Yes? Essentially there's friction in the system. So it's important that its first thing is geometrically well aligned, next thing is it must be properly lubricated. There are ways to do this. Don't allow these small things to take over your life because they can limit and destroy the process of your life simply because one little anxiety all the time bothering you. This must be fixed at the earliest possible time.
All right, Sadhguru. An epidemic in today's world is PUBG. Do you play PUBG?
Oh, I never heard this till the Prime Minister mentioned it 3 days ago,
So my friends…
I heard that it's some kind of a war game, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So a lot of my friends would rather play PUBG than have a conversation with me. That speaks a little about myself maybe, but they do. They want to play PUBG more. And with violence being its main premise and the amount of screen time on PUBG, what do you think the impact of PUBG is on today's youth psyche and all its users? Well, how do you think? Where is it leading us?
Say if somebody played some game just for fun a little while, that's not an issue for me, any kind of game. But I hear, I don't know what's the statistics in India, In United States, they're saying between 18 to 26 years of age, on an average, most people are spending 4.5 to 6 hours on these games. I think we are out to produce a dumb generation. Yes, if you feel heroic by shooting down some animated pictures, at least if you go and fight with somebody, something will improve. But just shooting down animated pictures on a phone screen, is it?
Yes.
Huh? On the phone or the
screen.
bigger screen?
Phone screen.
Phone screen. I don't think that's heroic. It's just stupid. Just playing something for fun is different. You can play for some time, anybody can play any game they want, it's okay. But all your life, somebody is just playing this, somebody is just playing that, I think you're trying to find some substance, a substance that you don't have. You want to be a warrior without having the courage to shed your own blood. War is not about shedding other people's blood. You're willing to shed yours, that's why you're there. Not that you want to, you're willing. That's what makes a war hero so different, because he went there willing to shed his own life. Maybe he came back, but he's willing to shed, not on a phone.
Right, so since we're talking about what's in hype these days, I really want to ask you this one political question which has been bothering me. It is of course about the Sabrimala case, which has been in the news since the past few months. My question is that, do you think we have gone too ahead with the concept of gender equality, that we are stepping over a lot of our own cultural norms and values and mythological beliefs to just prove ourselves?
See, there is no such thing as going too far with gender equality. Gender equality means equality. How can you go far? I don't think you can go far with it. Gender equality must be there's no question. But in the name of gender equality, what's your name? Akhil, he wants to enter the ladies' toilet. Gender equality. This is not equality, this is a civilizational issue or an evolutionary issue, if you ask me. No, not him, I'm just… I always pick on the people who are sitting in the front row, that's why they left this row vacant. Not you. So, let me explain this Ayyappa Swami thing. See, the way the Indian temples are made, the question of gender discrimination doesn't even arise, because there are more temples for goddesses than gods in the country. Every village has a goddess temple. Every village doesn't have a god temple. So should we count how many goddess temples we have and establish the same number of god temples? That's goddamn nonsense, all right? And there is no question of women entering or not entering, it is there. Now they're talking about they're making it out like they're not being allowed because of the menstrual cycles that a woman has, a biological process out of which all of us are born, all right? So, this is not the case, because there are temples established for that purpose. In the sense, there are temples where the menstrual cycle of the Devi is worshipped. You know? Yes. There are temples like this. So this doesn't even exist in this culture. First of all, they're describing a temple as a place of prayer. Temple is not a place of prayer. Nobody told you you should go and pray and appeal to the god and do something. Nobody is leading a prayer there like it is done in other religious institutions. Here, you're only supposed to have darshan. That means you're supposed to just go and see, simply seeing. But this one deity, Ayyappa Swami, because they treat as individual persons, they are people by themselves. So he is a Akala Brahmachari, he's a monk. So he said, this is my abode. A small little place is his bedroom, all right? He says, women don't come. If you say, no, women will go and sit there, what is this rubbish? This is lack of civilization. Unfortunately, where courts should not enter, have entered. This is all manipulation of certain things. Political causes are being fulfilled through these kind of things. I will take this further. Right now, if you do not know this, most young people do not know this probably, you cannot keep a Hindu temple in this country. If it is large enough, the government will take over. Over 125,000 temples in Tamil Nadu are under government control. If you want, I can send you a list, how much land they had 40 years ago, how much they have today. Almost zero. Okay, they had thousands and thousands of acres of land. This was the main sustenance for the temple, that's all gone. How much jewelry was there? Enormous. It could easily go into a couple of tons of gold jewelry. Today, everything is gone, fake jewelry is sitting on the goddesses because it's all been eaten up. Why? Because government officials are managing the temple. A clerk is doing the puja. A government-appointed clerk is doing the puja. A temple… See, I'm not a temple-going person. I'm not a puja person, I've never prayed in my life. For me, it doesn't matter. But for people who matter, a devotee should be managing a particular temple, isn't it? Somebody who has some devotion. A clerk who is there for 3,000 rupees a month, you expect him to manage it well? The idea is to kill the temple. I will tell you, at least 15 to 25%, nobody knows exactly what's the number, but it's happened. The main deities in Tamil Nadu are all gone to United States and Europe. They've replaced fake deities. You understand, in major temples, I'm telling you. This is happening because government employees are managing. How do you allow this to happen to a whole community? This is a clear case of wanting to run down the temples to a place where there will be meaningless nonsense over a period of time. That's where it's going. This is absurd.
This is one from the college. I've changed the question a little bit. So I'm a big fan of Elon Musk, and he's on interplanetary travel, and that's what's on the card.
You also going to Mars?
No, not yet. I don't have so much money. But so he's talking about evolution of human beings. He wants to be buried on Mars, right? I think the last time we evolved was more than 15,000 years ago, and we may be due for an update. Where do you think the human race is going to go in the next 100 or maybe even 500 years, and how do you think we're going to upgrade? How are we going to evolve?
I don't want to comment on Elon Musk. Well, he's made a nice car. Okay.
Tesla.
The first one that he made on the Lotus platform. Yeah. So that was faster than a Ferrari, I drove that one. So I have no complaints about him. But he must restrict himself to cars, maybe airplanes, maybe even a rocket. But he shouldn't talk about human mechanism, it's a different matter. See, there's substantial evidence, neurological evidence. This question has been on for a long time. Can we evolve into another place? A whole lot of people asking. Can we make a bigger brain so that we could act better, we could be more intelligent, we could do many more things? So neurologically, certain neurological scientists have explained this. See, if you want to increase the capacity of this brain, one thing is you must pack more neurons. This is how a lot of children are born with excess neurons. Those are the children who are hyper, very brilliant, but hyper and unstable. Well, the moment today doctors see them, they pounce on them, and because medical industry is a big industry, they're always looking for a victim. And pharmaceutical industry is the second largest industry, so they pump something into it, they give some name, ADD, ADH, ABC or XYZ. All the 26 alphabets have been expanded like this. But when a child is like this is not abnormal, this is normal. A whole lot of children are born like this, that there is excess neurons in the brain. If you just put the child to a lot of physical activity, sleep and physical activity, proper physical activity, you will see by the time he's 6 or 8 years of age, he will adjust himself. The body does its own thing to make sure it kills the excess neurons and manages itself. But before that, if you put them on sedatives and that kind of stuff, for a lifetime they may become dependent on the medication. Having said that, another way to enhance your brain capacity is to increase the size of the neuron. If you increase the size of the neuron, the capacity of the brain could expand big time. But right now as you sit here in a restful condition, more than 20% of your energy is being consumed by your brain. Your brain is only this much, hardly 2 pounds. This much body consumes only 80%. This consumes 20% sitting here. If you increase the size of the neuron, the kind of energy that it will demand, the body cannot sustain. So this is what the neurological assessment is. But Adi Yogi, over 15,000 years ago, said something very unique. People asked the same question. He spoke about evolution. Well, only 152 years ago, Charles Darwin propounded the theory of evolution. Adi Yogi spoke about it over 15,000 years ago. He said, the first form of life on this planet, you heard of the 9 avatars? What are they? Can you tell me somebody? I don't refer to the Google. Matsya avatara, yes? Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parashurama, Rama, Krishna, Buddha, and the next one is about to come. That's what they say. See, don't look at it like individual people as it is being simplistically explained. What they're saying is, first thing was waterborne life, fish or waterborne life. Next thing is amphibious. Then they're skipping all the small creatures and coming to mammals. When they come to the mammals, they're saying the first animal is a wild boar. If you know something about these animals, you will see, in our neighborhood there are tribal villages. These boys go to school, when they're coming back, if they see a deer, a spotted deer, these 3, 4 little boys with one stick, they will go here, there, they'll corner the deer, one shot, they'll kill the deer, take it home to eat. It's all right for the tribal boys to do that. But a pig is not like that, a wild boar is not like that. If you shoot a bullet into it, it will just keep going. Normally, those who kill the pigs in the pig farm, they take a iron rod and put it in the ears and hammer it. Otherwise it won't die, because it's a very hardy life. It's so rooted in the body. Even now, if somebody is too physical, grossly physical, you say he is like a pig. Hello? MCP, No, you're not using those words anymore, the girls. Don't know what's MCP? See, the older ladies know. I'm sorry. The older generation knows. You don't know what's MCP? Oh, it's called male chauvinist pig. So if somebody is eating in a greedy way, something very physical, you say he's like a pig, because grossly physical means pig. It represents that. So it's Varaha. Next thing is Narasimha, which is half man, half animal. Next thing is a dwarf man. Next thing is a full-fledged man but emotionally volatile, Parashurama. Next is a peaceful man. Next is a loving man. Next is a meditative man. The next one is supposed to be a mystical man, okay? This is not about those individual people. This is the evolution of life on this planet. So what Adi Yogi said 15,000 years ago, in many ways, is it running parallel to Darwin's theory of evolution? Yes. It is running parallel to that. So when he expounded this, he had 7 disciples. Today they are celebrated in this country as Saptarishis. These 7 disciples asked the same question: can we evolve into something better than who we are? So Adi Yogi said, see, you can learn to use your existing capacities in a much higher way than the way you're using it right now. If you become more and more conscious, Your body and brain, you can use it in many, many more ways than they're using right now. But if you have to physically or physiologically evolve, then the way the planetary systems are, some change needs to happen in the solar system, because solar system is like a potter's wheel. It has spun this and it has reached its peak. How we know it's reached its peak is, if you know something about the geometry of the solar system, you know the the diameter of the moon and the distance between the earth and the moon is 108 times the diameter of the sun, you know those things. So, if you look at the human system, there are 114 junction points or chakras as they're called. The first two are outside the physical body, so we usually don't talk about it unless it's for some mystical purposes. So 112, out of that 112, 4 of them, you cannot do anything about them. If you take care of the 108, the remaining 4 operate by themselves, they have an intelligence of their own. We cannot do anything about it. So 108 is what is available to you. Seeing this, he says, see, 108 is already available to you. So the geometry of the solar system is like this. Unless some structural change happens in the solar system, you cannot evolve physiologically any further. But your ability to use the same thing in better and better ways is always available to you. So if you're planning to grow this along with Elon Musk, no, but can you learn to use this better? Are we not always learning to use this better, both body and mind? Aren't we? Some people, of course, downgrade themselves as time goes by. Some people are upgrading themselves, isn't it? It's possible if you're willing. Willingness means, if you have to be truly willing, you have to be conscious. If you're unconscious, you have become unwilling unknowingly.
So, moving on. My question is very relatable to the audience as well. Heartbreak is something that I think everybody…
Who broke your heart?
So, heartbreak is something that almost everybody goes through, and especially at some point of their time.
Oh, okay.
And I remember, in fact, my teacher once telling me that it is at your time you love, you break, and you learn to love again and again and again. But
Who is
the
this
beauty…
teacher, huh?
Sorry?
Who is this teacher?
That's a top secret. And she told me that the beauty of it is that…
Oh, it's a she. Okay.
It's a she. And the beauty of it is that you fall in love again and you break, but then it always ends up healing you again. I wonder, Sadhguru, everybody teaches us how to love. Movies, poems,
Really?
Bollywood.
If you do the things that you're doing in the movie, nobody will love you.
Literature. Almost many things teach us how to love, but nobody has ever taught us how to undo the love.
See, about breaking hearts, I don't have a broken heart because I gave away my heart very early on in my life, so nobody can break it, you know. I gave it away. You should do that, then nobody can break it. See, we must understand this. What is a love affair? Is it okay? Mechanics of love affair, we can look at it. I'm not trying to de-romanticize everything. It's just this. Let's say you were 10 years of age. You looked around, the world was quite normal. Hello? Was it normal when you were 10, 12? It was normal. I'm not picking on you because you're in the first row, okay? So it was looking quite normal. Suddenly, after some time, you got little poison, chemically poisoned. Then you looked, every little bump on somebody's body looks like a world by itself. Hello? Till then everything was okay, isn't it? You're 10, 12, it's okay. You became 13 and you look like this. Suddenly this is a world by itself. The neighborhood squawny girl who didn't mean a damn thing to you, suddenly She's the focus, she's the apple of your eye. Yes? So this is because your intelligence has been hijacked by your hormones. So it is making funny things happen. It is making you believe all kinds of things. When you look back and say you'll feel stupid, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong about it. But it's very important that we understand what's happening to us. Otherwise, we'll do idiotic things that we may regret later, you know. It is not a question of morality. It is a question of handling our life sensibly. So, I don't want, because that your teacher may be here, I don't want to say anything about that, but this serial heartbreak business can leave you paranoid about anything, about bonding with anybody in your life. Yes or no? Absolutely. You had serial heartbreaks, it looked like fun for some time. After some time, you just don't actually trust anybody in your life because another human being is a problem always. Only when our emotions allow you to cross that problem, in some way they get included. But if we have serial heartbreaks, we will never allow our emotion to cross those barriers. We will always be cautious because anyway this is come with a… what? Expiry date. Huh? When people come with an expiry date, yes, there is an expiry date for all of us, but relationships, the idea of building relationships is that it's of support on all levels of life, so that two people, that means two brains and two bodies can do better than one in many ways, in various aspects of life, in profession, in domestic situation, in life, in companionship, in emotion, in arranging and organizing our lives, in every way. Two people can do better than one person, that is the idea. And of course, nature is pushing us together because nature doesn't care about your love affair, it just wants you to reproduce. Yes? Yes. You think Mother Nature is worried whether you love or you don't love, it wants you to reproduce. But we've overdone that a little bit. There's no hurry, we don't have to yield to that. Hello? Yes. In the beginning of 20th century, we were only 1.6 billion people. Today we are 7.6 billion people. 4 times over in little over 100 years is a bit too much. Yes. And nobody can live well here if this number keeps on increasing like this. So, if you were a tiger, I would also say, please reproduce, because I'm looking at the colors and saying. If you were a tiger, I would encourage you, please reproduce, because it's an endangered species. Human beings definitely not endangered, we are endangering everything. So, reproduction is not the purpose right now, we have kept it aside. But nature's push is towards that. But we have emotional needs, physical needs, psychological needs, maybe financial and social needs, variety of needs. To conduct these needs in a dignified way, to conduct these needs in a… See, once you come as a human being, you can't do things, though they're the same things what the animals do, but we would like to do it more gracefully, consciously. Whether we eat or we copulate or we sleep, we like to do it little more aesthetically right. That's an important thing. For that, we need the cooperation of another person who is also somehow congruent to us. Every 2 days, if you have heartbreaks and going on, well, you will see the trouble of that.
Shreya, do you have the next one?
Yeah, these are the social questions, Orithro.
No, so I've got another one, I've got a last one from me. So we have a lovely school of engineering here and a lot of engineers here, right? Yeah, so the pertinent topic today is artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is getting more intelligent by the day. And soon a human being is going to make a robotic system that might develop a conscience. And when artificial intelligence does develop a conscience, do you think that human beings are needed, and what is the position of human beings going to be on Earth?
So let's understand the difference between conscience and consciousness. Conscience is a social thing. You can also teach it to a machine. My phone says, "I'm sorry." Have you seen this?
Yes.
So it has a conscience. Because conscience is a socially developed thing. For the same things that one society feels guilty about, another society does not feel guilty about it, isn't it so? So obviously it's a socially imposed thing. What one person feels troubled about, another person does not feel troubled about it. So conscience is not an important thing, it's a socially imposed thing. Every generation has a different kind of conscience. Actually, every human being has a different kind of conscience. The same things they don't suffer. Maybe generally everybody suffers a certain kind of thing in a given society. In another society, they don't. Consciousness is a different matter. If you're thinking that machines will become conscious, that is because most human beings are yet to be conscious, they are thinking. Machines also can become conscious. Right now, your whole education system and the way we are conducting our so-called knowledge is all about accumulating memory or information and thinking you're smart. We are constantly duping ourselves and everybody around us that memory is intelligence. Memory is not intelligence, memory is just memory. But right now, why is it a city boy looks smarter than a village boy? Not because he's more intelligent, simply because he has more information. Just looking at the Google, they think they've become more intelligent. You have not. You have just got more information. So these are great times. All those idiots, just by reading a book, who are acting like they're on top of the world, will mean nothing in the next 10 years. It's a great time, I like it because this is my time. My time is coming. I'll tell you how. I was just 12 or 13 years of age. Not like you guys, probably from the age of 6, 7 you've been having a smartphone or whatever. For the first time I saw a flatbed calculator when I was 13 years of age. Those days, there were only two companies doing flatbed calculators, Sony and Panasonic. Sony is very expensive, 125 rupees. Panasonic, if you go to that Burma Bazaar or that, what is that, Hong Kong, whatever, those things are not there anymore. When in India, all electronics was smuggled from outside. You had to go into a cellar somewhere and do some deal quickly because before the police come, you must buy your denims and your calculator and whatever you want and run from there. Yes, we had to buy our, if you want your Levi's, because that's all I lived in those days, I couldn't live in any other pants. So, if you want to buy your Levi's, you have to go there and you don't have time to even wear it and see whether it fits you. Just look at it like this, if it's okay, take it and go because any time they will raid, whenever they want money, the police will come and catch everybody and you have to pay out because it's all smuggled. Nothing was available in this country. It's all only after 96 or 97 these things are openly available. So this calculator somebody brought to the school and they said, just look at this. Tuk, 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 into tuk, 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 tuk. I said, what? This big number into this big number, answer right there. First thought that came to me is, why the hell are they torturing me in the mathematics classes? This damn thing can do it. And it will do sin theta, cos theta, everything. I thought, this is it. I sat there and dreamt, if there was a machine like this for physics, machine like this for chemistry, for biology, I don't have to come to school. This is my thought. After 50 years, this is coming true and I'm so happy. But some idiots are thinking their jobs will go away. And I'm so glad they will lose their jobs because they've been torturing all of us. They could be religious gurus, they could be professors, they could be scholars, they've been torturing us for a long time simply because they read a book ahead of us.
Well,
You must look back and see the kind of power this one man in the village can read. I have seen this. In the village where I had a farm where I was living, and there is one retired postman, like a postmaster kind of guy, who can read. Nobody else can read in the village. You should see all these ladies and all, their children have written letter, their husband has written a letter, they'll come and give it to this guy. This guy will read it loudly. A crowd is sitting and listening to their personal letter. All right? Because only this guy can read. And they're all looking at a paper, he's saying all this. It's such a wonder. This is the power of religion. They just read one book and made you believe they know the whole universe. Just reading one book. As if the whole goddamn cosmos is contained in one book. Even in 1,000,000 books, it is not possible, isn't it? Hello? If you write 1,000,000 books, you cannot contain the nature of this creation in 1,000,000 books or 1,000,000,000 books, isn't it so? But people made you believe it's all in one book. And how much power they have wielded for the last couple of thousand years and continue to, even today. So this has to go. People who have read a book, accumulated some memory and think they're on top of the world are going to fall. This is just a repeat of what happened in 60s and 70s. At that time, whoever had the biggest muscle was the leader of the place because everything was done with a muscle. I remember in Mazagon docks in Mumbai, these coolies were like that. The way they dominated the whole place. If like 100 and… at that time the vessels were smaller, 125,000 ton vessel comes, they will unload it sometimes up to 45 days to 90 days. Yes. Sack by sack, they will bring it out and sit there and… There are a lot of movies like this, Hindi movies have been made about that. Aye, and sit there. You want your goods out, sit down. When the cranes and gantries were brought, they were the first people who said, no way, we don't want cranes, we don't want gantries, all the trade unions went against it. But today, just now I was at a major port in Mundra, a 250,000 ton vessel is emptied within 24 hours. Okay, fantastic or no? So all the muscular men, where are they? We give them… if they are, we give them a security job at the most. You don't make him the boss of this place because once technology came, the muscle is useless. You need some muscle to manage your life, but this big muscle like this is no more valued. Similarly, this big memory is no more valued in the next 10 years. I'm so glad because the good times are coming. You are not valued for some rubbish you're carrying in your head. You're valued for what kind of a human being you are. This is the best time for humanity.
So now we've been running a social media campaign with a hashtag unplug with Sadhguru because we can't accommodate 2,000 people in this hall.
Yeah, the first question is from Ritika. She asks about a recent issue where cricketers made a statement about women on a popular TV show.
Who made?
Two cricketers.
Oh, okay.
What do you see as a source of the problem? Is it success or the parenting or just Josh? And what is the solution to it?
Well, I don't know the full detail of what they said, but they showed me one part of the conversation. Definitely there seems to be a problem with the parenting a bit. Apart from that, I think it's also a certain type of… a certain segment of society. I don't have a proper vocabulary, probably we can say that page 3 or what page, I don't know, they've moved to some other page now. That kind of society is in this kind of bravado. where on one level they're talking about gender equality, and another level they're constantly denigrating the female form in many ways, in many ways. So probably these young boys are a little carried away with that kind of thing, and they thought they will look little more, snazzy in front of the society by saying such things. Well, I think they must be penalized to some extent. At the same time, you should not destroy their careers because they still are young men. One of them, I think, came out and said, "I'll never again do this." That's good enough. Some penalty has happened, shaming has happened, I think it's enough. There's no need to hang them for that. It's not necessary to do that. But at the same time, creating a culture around us where we must create a culture where gender matters only in certain places. Rest of the time, what do I care? What is your gender? Huh? No, why do I care whether you're a man or a woman? What is my business with you? Well, if you want to go to the bathroom, you must know which gender you are. If you want to be in the bedroom, you must know which gender you are. Rest of the places, why should you know whose gender is what? You value them for what they can do and cannot do, isn't it? You're a journalist. My trouble with you will be, what kind of journalism will you do? Why do I care whether you're a man or a woman? Should it not be so? Only then gender equality will happen. Gender is a small thing. We've made it too big. We've made it so big simply because this gotten into our heads, it's not staying in our bodies. Gender is a bodily thing, it must stay with our bodies, isn't it? If it gets into your head, it becomes a perversion of all kinds.
So, Sir Prashanti wants to know, there are many people who are considered youth icons, who have touched my life in a big way, but I see that they themselves are miserable in their personal life. Why would you like to… What would you like to tell those icons, and how can you help?
See, what I say may be a bit extreme for you, but I'm saying this because if we don't make these corrections now in our societies, we will simply go away like this. Going away this way means, for example, right now, 38% of the European population is on psychiatric medication. 38%, not a small number. Why I'm taking Europe as an example is, this is a society which has enjoyed a longest period of material well-being. Almost last 200 years, they have had the highest level of material well-being. How that well-being came is another matter, okay? But whichever way it came, people have enjoyed such a long period of material well-being, but 38% is psychologically ill. They are on medication. If you want half of Europe to go crazy, you just pull out a few pharmaceutical formulations from the market, 38% will go crazy, totally out of control. 70% of American population is on prescription medication, not just psychological, but all kinds, prescription medication. So to be healthful, you need chemicals. To be peaceful and balanced, you need chemicals. You're going this way simply because you have not handled a few fundamental things right. Because you're trying to adjust your inner way of being using external circumstances. To fix this, you want to fix the whole world. You can never fix the whole world, believe me. It doesn't matter who you think you are. You cannot fix the outside situation 100% the way you want, yes or no? Even if you're just 4 people in the family, still you can't have the outside situation just the way you want, isn't it so? Can you? No one more human being will ever happen 100% the way you want them. Does anybody happen? No. There's only this person. This person must happen 100% your way, this one person. This person, that person didn't happen your way, that's not the problem. This one person must happen your way. If this person doesn't happen your way, you're gone. Now you become an icon or whatever you call them by manipulating the outside situations in so many ways. Fine, they may have some talent in something, they may be sports people, they may be musicians, they may be actors, they may be dancers, whatever. In some way they became that, it's fine. But it's very, very important, we must understand, when your very presence has influence over people, how you keep yourself is very important, isn't it? It's a tremendous privilege that by your very presence, people's lives are being transformed either positively or negatively. When you have such a responsibility and such a privilege that you can touch so many lives, because whatever physical activity we do, we may think on the surface many things, but actually the only thing that matters is whether our activity touches another life or not. Yes or no? Do you want to write something that nobody reads? No. Do you want to build a building that nobody wants to live in? Do you want to sing a song that nobody wants to listen to? Because the need for human being to expand and touch another life means somehow you kindle life in another person. This is important. It is because of that somebody has become an icon. When such a privilege has come to you that you can actually make things happen in another person's life through your very presence or song or dance or talk or whatever, it's extremely important that you keep yourself in such a way that you will lead to a positive result for everybody who's in touch with you. But this responsibility has not been exercised properly. And I've been active in United States for the last almost 20 years now. So people ask me, Sadhguru, why are you coming to United States when in India, there's so much support for you, you had to come here, like almost from ABC, you have to build everything, the foundation there. Now it's become big, of course, but at that time they were asking me this question. See, I said, for some reason, for whatever reason, there are many aspects, United States has acquired a leadership position. It's become iconic in its own way. Whatever they do, everybody else wants to do now. Say today, I'm not somebody who makes comments on your clothing or something because, well, I was like that when you're your age, that's a different matter. But today, if you look at any Indian city or anywhere in the world for that matter, below the knees, what are they wearing? Almost 60% are wearing American workman's clothes. And Americans' workman's clothes, because he wore the same thing, it happened to us also, because we were riding motorcycles all the time, the seat became, torn, we put leather patches there, here it wore out, here we put, because getting a new one was difficult at that time. Even if you have money, you can't get it anywhere. But today everybody is tearing it. Brand new pants, they're tearing it, or they're buying it torn, all right, worse. So that's a different matter. But the thing is, whatever they wear, everybody wants to wear. Whatever they eat or drink, everybody wants to eat and drink. Well, India has phenomenal amount of cuisine, all right? No other culture has the variety of cuisine that India has. If you want to experience this, you must come south. North is become all little, just one kind of masala everywhere. But now you want to eat a burger, this was made for a hippopotamus. How do you eat like that? In front of my grandmother or grandfather, you opened your mouth like this to eat, they'll say, shut up. Is that the way to eat for a human being? They'll say you're eating like an animal. But that's become our way. Because why? Because the Americans are doing it. Well, even a kindergarten child knows this body needs oxygen. You also know, right? Even though you're a journalist, you still know. But they put carbon dioxide in a bottle and they say this is the real thing, and the whole world drinks it, all right? This means America has become an icon. Whatever they do, everybody does. So I said, if America meditates, the whole world will meditate. That's why I'm revving it up in America. So let's say, for example, somebody like Michael Jackson, suppose he meditated. Believe me, 20 million people would be meditating tomorrow morning. If I have to get 20 million people to meditate, I have to work for years. So, icon means other people have started investing in your life. Now it's very important you behave responsibly, extremely important. It's a privilege that you should not exploit.
So, thank you so much for that. And now we move on to what everyone here has been waiting for. We're going to throw the floor open to the audience. And can I see a show of hands? Anyone has questions for Sadhguru? Anyone does? All right, can we have someone from here, please? Right there, the lady right there.
Thank you so much. Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Although you've counseled me millions of times on YouTube videos, it's the first time that I'm talking to you in person. I feel blessed and grateful. My question to you is, what's the best part to spirituality? As students, what can we do to be spiritual?
See, the general understanding is, spiritual means you have to go somewhere, in some other direction than the way you're going right now. No. Spiritual process is not a direction. It is a certain aesthetic, it's a certain quality. You can do the same things in different ways, isn't it so? You want to eat food, you can eat with both your hands, or you sit down and eat properly. There are many ways to eat. The same thing. Same food, same person can do the same thing in different ways, isn't it? If you do it with the highest level of sensitivity and aesthetic, this is spiritual process. So spiritual process does not mean you have to do something different. Because changing the content of your life is very easy and it doesn't make any difference. It is about changing the context of your life that makes a difference. So changing the context needs attention on all levels of life. If you do everything that you're doing with, let us say, 10x level of attention, we can say you're definitely moving towards spiritual process, attention, because it is only with our attention, the keenness and the intensity of our attention, which opens doors for us. Do you understand this much? Whatever you may know right now, there could be something more to this life than what you know. Hello? There could be. Maybe not, but there could be. So before you fall dead, I'm just reminding you, I'm not wishing you. All of us will die, right, one day? I'll bless you with a long life, but you will die. Before we fall dead, everything there is to know about this life must be experienced in this life. Yes or no? If you are focused towards this, you are spiritual. That is, you are not sitting on what little things that you have. You are on your toes with your life. You're constantly looking deeper and deeper so that you will not miss any aspect of life. If you are in that condition, you are a spiritual seeker. Spiritual seeker does not mean you went to a temple or church or mosque or chanted this or went up Himalayas, no. You may if you like, not that you should not. You may if you like, if you find those things conducive for you, you can do it. But spiritual process is about changing the context of how I exist, not changing the content of my life. Instead of living in home, you go and live in a cave, you will not become spiritual. Cave is also home. Hello? Yes or no? There was a time when you were called, I'm sorry, I don't know only why men were called cavemen. Cave was the home. When cavemen existed, cave was the home, isn't it? Cave was not a spiritual cocoon. Cave was the home. Some people moved out, some people stayed back. That's about it. So, how do I become spiritual? Don't become spiritual, just become a very sensitive, alert life. You are spiritual. If you become really sensitive and alert to everything, that you don't miss a thing. Don't miss a thing means, that doesn't mean you have to go on bat for everything in the world. Don't miss a thing, anything about this life. Because in reality, you think you're experiencing many things, but actually you're only experiencing the way it happens within you, isn't it? Do you see me right now, all of you? Hello? Even if you're not listening, I'm asking, do you see me? You may be playing that what is that?
PUBG.
PUBG. So, tell me, where do you see me? Use your hands and point out. Where do you see me? Oh, you got it wrong, you know. I am a mystic from southern India. No, it's not the way you see it. This light is falling upon me, reflecting, going through your lenses, inverted image in your retina. You know the whole story, isn't it? Where do you see me right now? Within yourself. Where do you hear me right now? Within yourself. Where have you seen the whole world? Within yourself, isn't it? Have you ever experienced anything outside of yourself? Have you? Right now, if someone next to you touches your hand, you think you're experiencing their hand. No, you're only experiencing the sensations in your hand, isn't it so? So your whole experience of life is entirely within you. When this is the nature of your existence, it's very important that you know how this functions, how these experiences are caused. If this you take charge, you will create whatever experience you want, isn't it? Is it true you can be sleeping and in your dream, you went to Mars along with him? Possible or no? Already you've done. So, in your dream when you went to Mars, it's 100% true, yes or no, at that time? Because what happens within you is the only experience you have even now. If you understand how human experience is created and what is the basis of all this, then you know something about this creation which cannot be put into words, because words will only describe what's around you. Words will never describe fundamentals of this. This is what spiritual process means. That means you know this piece of life through and through, not just on the surface.
Right.
Just wanted to ask you that in life there are many phases where we feel that we are depressed, we are lonely, and when everybody is against us and there is no one to, guide us or talk about it. So at that moment, how should we handle it or how should we deal with it?
This is an unfortunate condition that a whole lot of human beings are in their experience. In their personal experience, life is like me versus the universe. Being in competition with the universe is a stupid thing to do. That's not a competition you must get into. Hello? Hello? Me versus the universe is a bad competition to get into. Would you also agree with me? So, this is why yoga. Yoga does not mean twisting and turning your body. The word yoga means union. Right now it's me versus the universe. This is just your psychological condition. This is not the reality. Even when you feel utterly lonely, are you still breathing? So you're transacting with the world, isn't it? Yes? You only can't get along with the people around you, but the atmosphere is okay with you, food is okay if it tastes good, water is okay. You have transaction with the world, isn't it? Your existence is constantly an engagement with the universe, but your mind becomes against the universe. If you create a psychological condition that you're against or you're in competition with the universe or the cosmos, obviously you will feel crushed for small things. Little things will crush you. When I say little things, maybe you failed your examination, maybe you got thrown out of this university, maybe you got fired from a job, maybe somebody ditched you, maybe something else like this happened. These are all small things between life and death, because you don't agree with me. Because you came here with nothing, isn't it? When you die, there is no container service for you. You die with nothing. In spite of that, most people have turned their homes into warehouses. Most people are carrying such a huge baggage on their head, as if they're carrying the whole universe on their head. This is their own psychological condition. Your thought and emotion is what you're talking about, right? When are you going to figure out how to handle your thought and emotion? Not hers, not hers, not his, yours. When are you going to learn how to handle my thought and my emotion? At the end of your life? Hello? At the end of your life?
No.
Sooner the better? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I tell you a joke? It's a serious matter, but I can… The biggest problem, the only problem really with life is just this. Most human beings have taken themselves too seriously. They don't understand… You've seen on the computer screen these pop-ups?
Yes.
You are a pop-up on this planet. You pop up for 2 seconds and pop out. No, you must see, countless number of people like you and me have walked this planet. They were also big people. Where are they? All topsoil? Topsoil or no? Unless somebody, your friends decide to bury you real deep, fearing that you may rise from the dead. You know, there have been such instances. So when are you going to handle your fear, your insecurity, your anger, your depression, your anxiety? When are you going to deal with them? At the end of your life? Or maybe you're planning to go to heaven. Hello? Anybody who talks about a place other than this place as a better place than this is a crime against humanity. My fundamental work is to destroy all heavens so that people will learn to live well here. All these idiots who made a hell out of themselves, they want to go to heaven. They made a mess out of this place and then they want to go to heaven. I'm asking you, do you have any proof? Do you have any proof that you are not already in heaven and messing it up? Do you have any proof? You're already in heaven, making a mess out of it. Yes, simply because you are not even learning how to handle your basic faculties of thought and emotion, isn't it? Your only justification is, everybody is like this only. That's how it is in a madhouse. That is how it is in a madhouse, only a doctor looks crazy. So when are you going to handle it? Slowly, at the age of 60? I'm asking. When will you learn how to handle my thought, how to handle my emotion, how to handle my body, how to handle my chemistry? When are you going to figure this? At the end of your life? Because this culture has grown. When to do spirituality means when you're 70, when you're no good for anything else. No, at the earliest possible time, whatever is most profound about you, not about heavens, about this life, everything that you need to know, you must know soonest, isn't it? Only then you will live a sensible life. Okay, if I tell you a joke, you won't get offended. Because this is the most serious crowd I've ever seen in the last few years. This happened. Shankaran Pillai, when he was in Paris, was married to a French woman. One day, it was their anniversary, first anniversary. So she invited a bunch of friends and she wanted to cook something really fresh, everything fresh. So from morning she was driving him to this market, that market, he got this fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh chicken, this, that, everything. Then in the evening she said, because the French have this, snail appetizer, she said, go to the beach and get some snails, fresh. And I will make some appetizer for all the friends who are coming. So Shankaran Pillai went to the beach and he was picking up all the snails and putting it in a bucket. Then he met an old friend, an Indian guy. They hit it off and they were talking about their old times. He just forgot that he's married. You know, when you meet old friends, it happens. And both of them went to a bar and they had a few drinks and he just forgot. Then he realized, then the snails were just climbing out and one snail fell out of the bucket. He realized, oh my God, I'm supposed to take these snails, my wife, French wife, she's waiting. So he said, I need to go, and he went. By then it was already very late. He went, he knew it's not going to be pleasant. So he came near the house and spilled all the snails on the ground, threw away the bucket and went and knocked on the door. The French fury came. He turned back and said, come on you guys, we're almost there, come on, let's go. So, when are you going to pick your snails and put them in the bucket and fix them? Huh? Your problems, you must fix them, isn't it? These are not problems. I want you to understand, you are not suffering your life. You're only suffering two fantastic faculties that only… It's a privilege of being human that we have these two fantastic faculties. One is, we have a vivid sense of memory. This is because of this memory our life is so rich, unlike any other creature. And we have a fantastic sense of imagination. Now, this is what you're suffering. What happened 10 years ago, you can still suffer. Why? Are you suffering life or memory? Hello? Memory. Memory. What may happen day after tomorrow, you're already suffering? Are you suffering life or imagination? Imagination. Two most fantastic faculties you have, you're suffering. So what are you asking for? You want to become once again an earthworm. An earthworm is a very eco-friendly creature, I have nothing against it. But it took millions of years of evolution to get you this size of brain, and now you're suffering it. If we take away half your brain, of course you will sit there without any anxiety, without any suffering, peacefully. What we need is, we need to remove your brain, because you're suffering your own intelligence. Yes or no? Because we gave you a very complex machine, you have not bothered to read even the user's manual. You want to just blunder around. No, young people, it's time you figure out a few things about you. If you don't know how, we will give you tools how to figure this machine out, because in your life, many issues will come. More issues come up in your life means you're living a more active life. Nothing came up means you're not living. Yes? Lots of issues every day. I have the maximum number of trouble going on in my life on a daily basis, because so much of activity around the world, global level of activity only with volunteers, okay? Volunteers means nobody is qualified for the job and you can't fire them for inefficiency and they love you, what to do?
All right.
So, this one thing you must fix, that is, in your life, you are not the issue, okay? Whatever the issue, we'll do our best. But this should not be the issue, isn't it? So, when you're alone, if you're with me and you're feeling troubled, maybe it's because of me. But you're alone and you're feeling miserable, obviously you're in bad company. Hello? Yes? When you're alone, if you feel miserable, you are in bad company, isn't it? Should you not fix it? Because if you feel miserable with me, you can go away. If you feel miserable with yourself, where the hell are you going to go?
We know the mind is conditioned, just a recycling of whatever we've gathered from the past. So any movement that comes from this should just be another form of conditioning. So any question that comes out of this is also conditioning. So is any question really worth asking?
But why are you asking this question? Oh?
That's…
Okay. Just like that. So is something worth doing, whether a question or an answer, is it worth doing? Nothing is really worth doing. It's only that if you have become worthy of life, then every small thing is worth doing. If you make yourself worthwhile, you will see every small thing that you do is truly worthwhile. If you don't make yourself worthwhile, really nothing really matters, because anyway one day we're going to die, what's the big deal? Isn't it? So that's all that matters. The issue is just this. If you think what we are doing is important, then actually it's not worthwhile, whether a question or answer. But if we are doing it in a certain way, then even the simplest thing becomes fantastic. If I move my hand like this, is it important? No. The same thing, somebody dances, suddenly the movement of the hand becomes fantastic because of the way it's done, isn't it? Hello? Movement of the hand is meaningless, but when it's done in a certain way, I can shout right now. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. Well, he will shout and it's music. Suddenly it becomes worthwhile. So not because of what we are doing, simply because of the way we are doing it.